Hey guys, a lot more is coming out today. I've been real emotional this last week, so if I cry, I'm sorry. If you guys are angry right now, or sad, or emotional, you're not paying attention. I just got off the phone with a friend, and I asked him some questions, and these questions are something we need to be thinking about. My other friend had brought this up. He brought up the fact that Obama's executive order that he signed hasn't even been published on the whitehouse.gov website. None of the November executive orders have been posted, and they are not, they have not produced them for the public to read. And I also shared a link that was sent to me through a message. Someone was trying to post all this and couldn't. Facebook would not allow them to post it. So I decided to go through each one and just post them individually. Supposedly there's a judge to rule on petition ordering Obama to produce executive order which cannot be found in the court to rule on constitutionality of Obama's immigration order. This is out of the law offices of Dr. O'Reilly Tates, Esquire. Posted it on Facebook so you can actually read it. Supposedly he assigned 4 executive orders, 3 or 4 executive orders, and I cannot find any for November. I also heard today that there was a officer that was murdered by 4 Bloods. Eric Holder has announced that before he's ever even went before a judge or jury, that the death penalty is completely taken off the table, that these men that have killed this officer will not face the death penalty. All because Eric Holder says so. So here we are with facing this. We either have law or we don't. You can't just say, I'm going to make up the law as I go along. You have to provide that to the public. If you break a law and you're charged with it, or you're fined, or you get pulled over for something, and you tell the cop, I didn't know that was a law. I didn't know I was violating the law. You know what he's going to tell you? He's going to tell you that ignorance of the law is no excuse. They have to provide this, whether it's an executive order, a law, or code, or policy, whatever it is, whether it be city, county, or federal. It has to be provided for you. Even if you never go read it, they still have to provide that for you, so that way you can read the law to know it. Whether you understand it is beside the point. They still have to provide that for you. So there's been things brought up as far as my friend on his radio show actually asked, does America, the Republic, exist anymore? Is it gone? It's not gone in our hearts if it's what we believe, and we believe that we should live under a republic, that we should live under the law of the land, which is the Constitution, that we believe that our judge is our creator, that no man is above that. Then we have those who believe that the government is all powerful, that the government is the judge and jury, that the government is God. But then we have the rest of us who are scattered around the country that are not being represented by our federal government right now. There is no really true leadership to represent us. And those that are there to represent us, that we voted in, either aren't doing it or they're not allowed to do it. Either way, it's not being done. So I asked my friend on the phone just now, what do we do? If there is no law, and those in the federal government feel that they can make up the law as they go along, but then not post that law for the people to see, what do we do? Where do we stand? We have no solid foundation. There are those that will say that this is being done on purpose, which I am of that opinion. And it causes chaos, and it causes anarchy, and it causes a lot of things. So, where is leadership? What are we to do now? Because if you actually, there's something else that came out. I'm not going to say what it is. But I will just tell you this. I have blocked Mark Kessler from my Facebook, and I suggest everybody else do so. Someone else is working on this, so I'm not going to bring it up. Just take that to heart. And I also will say this. The media knew about it the whole time, and they lied to us about it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And I will bring up the fact that when we get back to this executive order thing, Judge Napolitano had brought up, I saw a video a couple days ago. He said, Obama went to Chicago Law School. He knows the Constitution. So he knows that he's violating it. So there's a conflict of interest as far as Eric Holder goes with this case where this cop was murdered. You can't just say, just because it involves a person of color, these 4 men, supposedly, kills this officer. Anyone that's in prison right now that was involved, whether they in a case like this, it is a conflict of interest, which means they would have to go back and completely go through all these cases again for these people who are in jail, and for minor offenses. You can't just say, well, in this individual case, the death penalty is off the table. Conflict of interest, if you're going to look at it that way. So there's a lot that is involved with the things that are going on. So it's either we have law or we don't. There are those of us that believe that when my friend asked that question, does America still exist? Does the Republic still exist? It does. Whether the federal government wants to abide by it or not, it exists in our heart. it exists in our minds for some of us. But legally, does it still exist? That's a question that's being put out. Because the people who are supposed to lead this country and are supposed to represent us are not abiding by it. So, since I brought this up for discussion, I want to ask you, the people watching this video, what do we do now? Let me know in the comment section.